Good afternoon, Steph here from Hofkissed. Welcome to another weekly on Wednesdays video. This is the card that I'm showcasing today. I'm always fiddling with my lights. It looks so dark. Okay, but every time I look at the replay, it looks good. Anyway, this is the card that I'm going to demo today. If I'm being totally honest, the weather in Ontario is very humid today and up and down. So I've been suffering from some migraines. And this card took me a really long time to design today. And we'll see how it goes. But I like how it turned out. But we'll see. We'll see how this live goes. Maybe I just jinxed it. But anyway, all right, let's get started. I'm going to do a little bit of masking today. I'm going to do some coloring. I'm using a Christmas set, but it's not a Christmas card, and along with some other sets here. Rooted in Nature has, it's a massive stamp set, and I liked this image down here. And what else do I have to tell you about this card? I don't know. I used bits and pieces found in my stash. Still trying to clear out and use what I've got. And yeah, all right. Let's see how this goes. So crumb cake card base, cut and scored in half from an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this is oh, don't need this piece. This is the bits and bobs from my I did this last year, I believe, was a Christmas card, or a couple years ago maybe. And so this hole doesn't really matter because I changed the design. But I had these embossed panels already. So this is embossed with the Woodlands folder, I think. It's some birch trees. So I really like this one. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Daffodil Delight, which is a smidge bigger. So 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Yes, I think. And so that'll get mounted like that. This is a die cut piece from a long time ago. I think a paper pumpkin kit. So I'm going to use that. This I have already stamped and cut out here with this image in crumb cake. And I have a little bit of scrap here. And this is actually what I was getting to. This is what I need. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my Christmassy stamp set. So if you can see here, this tree has snow on it. And these trees look bare. And I didn't really want that. So I'm going to use a Stampin' Right marker. And with these markers, I can color right on the stamp. So here is my tree with the snow on it. And I don't want that one. So I'm going to try my best to just color in around. I do want this tree here. So I'm going to color that, and this tree, and the house, the cottage, cabin in the country, whatever. I love it. I love this house. So I'm going to color everything but these two trees kind of on the side. All right, and I'm using Early Espresso marker. All right, so then I'm going to, stamp that there. All right, so I got that down. I don't need that anymore, but I'm going to, I didn't mount the picture, but this tree here, this single tree. So I'm going to bring that in, and I have created a mask here. So I stamped this tree image here, and I just cut out this sort of area here, and I'm going to place it over what I don't want to get inked, because I want it to look like the trees are falling in behind the house. So I'm going to ink this up, and let's see, stamped it there, and I think I stamped one more there. And now we can remove that. Ta-da! Magic! And I'm going to, I inked up the tree again. I'm going to stamp it off, and I stamped it again over there. Alrighty. Now, cool, right? Have you done masking? It's already not looking so Christmassy, so that's good news. Now, let's make it look a little bit nicer. Let's see, what colors did I use? I don't remember. I'm going to use blends just because I like working with those. And let's see, I gave it a blue roof, and I think I used this one and this one for the door. So I'm going to try hard here to color in as quickly as possible. We'll see. So I added those in yellow, or Daffodil Delight, the dark. And this is the Pretty Peacock blends, the light one. So I like the blue roof. Wanted to add some color. And I'm not really blending, like adding multiple colors here. Well, I am, but not really blending. I'm just doing a quick color. So let's see. Blue roof. Crumb cake. This one's stuck. There we go. Crumb cake. Siding. Coloring around the windows and the door. So I really like the blends because, like, I'm not using them to blend colors together necessarily on this card, but it's not leaving any marker lines either. So it just applies to the paper very nicely. Okay, I'm also going to just add a little bit here to the tree trunks. Oh, the chimney. And then I colored this little rock here. I wanted to not to have it all brown because it would just blend into the house. So I added the yellow first, and then I went in behind or over top with the crumb cake. For the pathway here, I did a little bit of Cajun craze. And this one I did want to add a little bit of dark. All right. And now for the trees, let's see. I have Mossy Meadow, light and dark, and Old Olive, light. And I just kind of added, I'm not pushing really hard, but added little dots of color here, just to give the illusion that it's not bare trees. I didn't want, I thought at first to do fall colors, But then it would be very limited to using this maybe in the fall months, so I didn't want to limit that in terms of birthdays. Masculine cards are always really hard, and maybe that's another reason why this one took me so long. I just gravitate towards flowers and butterflies and things like that. I love nature, and but it's just masculine cards are difficult for me. But anyway, here we are. I really like how this one turned out, and I was really low of masculine cards in my shop. Go figure. They're not as plentiful as some of the other ones. Okay, I think I did add a little bit of light and bright color here, just to fill in some more of that white space. All right, Granny Apple Green. So I think that worked out pretty good. Went from a wintry card to not wintry. Oh, I did want to add a little bit of greenery here in the front. Let's see, I think I went later there. Granny Apple. Nope, this is not the original color I used. That's okay. All right, we'll add that. Oh, knocking everything over. Okay, so now, and as I was designing this, it would have made more sense to cut this into a circle, but this was kind of, I design as I go, so it is what it is. But if you wanted to recreate this, I would suggest cutting the circle. I cut a 2-inch circle, and then I used the stitched shape framelits to get this little ring here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and then I'm just going to cut out my circle. But again, it would have made more sense had I cut a circle first. Now, the one benefit of doing it this way is that if you don't get your image exactly where you want it, this allows you to see, like, this is hanging over and not centered on my square. So that's the one benefit of doing it this way, I suppose. So excuse me one moment as I cut this circle. A very poor circle, but it doesn't matter because you can't see it. All right, there we go. So got that. Okay, let us start assembling here. So again, this was previously embossed. This circle really means nothing. This is just found in my stash from a card that I designed last year, or maybe even 2 years ago. And so I'm just using that piece. But you can still get this folder. Let's see. All right. Oh, and as I'm gluing this down, I am realizing that I might have to cut this piece. See? See? So, should not have done that. Nothing like Facebook Live. All right, let's see. Cut a smidge off. Do you know, I used to cut all my layers by hand. I refused to use a trimmer. Yeah, I should take a look-see back at some of those photos of all those cards. Anyway, yeah, so who knows how straight those were. But anyway, worked out. I just had to cut a little smidge off. Again, wouldn't recommend to do it that way. But, all right. So here we go. I'm just going to center it and get that glued on. And then I'm going to come in with my wood pieces. Again, I previously stamped and cut these out by hand with, sorry, not with, this is crumb cake. This was stamped in crumb cake. So I stamped once and then stamped again without re-inking, and that got the two different color tones. All right, so I want to add those. Now I'm going to come in with this piece, and I want to add some of these die cuts here. These die cuts are from the dies that coordinate with this stamp set here. So I'm just going to, I want them to kind of stick out here. So I'm going to add a little bit of double-sided tape just so I can place these where I want. Let's see. Something like that. All right, and then I'm going to add a whole whack of dimensionals here. So I got some of the bigger, the normal sized ones. I don't like saggy embellishments, so I'm just going to add all those there. And then the mini ones will come in on these leaf parts. So now it's just going to stay where I want it to. I don't want one there. All right, and we'll peel those off. If these leaves weren't so long, I might have just left it, but I wanted them to kind of stay in place, and I didn't want these ones to get all bent and stuff when they were being put in an envelope. All right, so we'll peel these off. Lots of dimensionals. All right. Now again, you normally wouldn't have this circle here, but I just want to make sure that I'm going to get that covered there and get that stuck on. All right, almost done here. A couple of other things. I'm going to bring in my banner, just a scrap, a half-inch scrap here of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. All right. And for the inside of the card, this is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to come in with the crumb cake ink and this wood stamp here. Let's see. And I inked it once, but I'm going to stamp it twice to get the two-tone effect. And come in. I had some fluff or something on there, but that's okay because look, it's gonna get hidden. All right, and another die cut leaf here. Just see this is white on the back, so these dies are from that set, but this must have been from also a paper pumpkin kit. All right, just add a little bit of greenery on the inside too. Okay, so we can go ahead and put this on the inside. Like so. All right, you know, I always like to do the inside. It just adds a little something, an extra little surprise. this one, I got to come in with this label punch here. And get this lined up. All right. And then, did you notice on my original, I added a little bit of linen thread there? So we are going to add some glue dots to the back. There's some glue dots. And come in with some linen thread. I'm just going to wrap it around a few times on each end. And the glue dot. Just hold that in place. All right, there we go. Move that out of the way. All right, and I wanted to hang it over. Sorry, I got this little piece there that's bugging me. All right, I want it to hang over this way. So because I had popped this up, I want to add a little pop in behind here. So I'm going to grab a mini dimensional and add that there. And then I will just add a couple of glue dots here just to make it easy behind that side. And get that stuck on. Let's see, right there. Does that look good? And straight. Yes. There we go. I made it. I think pretty successfully. I wasn't sure. My head is not feeling that great today. But anyway, there we go. A masculine birthday card. So I hope you liked this design and the few little techniques that I showed you. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Have a fabulous day and a great week, and we'll catch you again next Wednesday at 2 p.m. All right, bye for now.